welcome back to another early morning exciting conversation with Coach Ricardo Miller here on Effective Living. Listen, guys, what is effective living all about? It's all about helping to create ambassadors, men and women who have tapped into purpose and not afraid to do life God's way. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do me a favor and like, share, and comment as much as possible because it really helps our early morning sessions out. As I mentioned before, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, the founder of Effective Living. We're celebrating 5 years this year, and if you notice, we have a cruise that's fast approaching. This coming October, we'll be celebrating on the ocean, literally heading out to the Bahamas. We're going to have a great time. But listen, this week, we started a talk with my dear friend and colleague. I'm so blessed and I'm so favored and so grateful to God for connecting us because she's on a mission. She's on a mission to discovering purpose and maximizing her potential. Well, welcome back to Effective Living Early Morning Talk. What's up, Brittany?
Good morning, Coach. How are you today? Thanks for having me.
I am so delighted that you are here with us this morning. I know we have people around the world that will be watching us not only live, but those who will be watching the rerun. Brittany, where are you located right now? And people are like, Brittany, who's Brittany? Tell people a little bit about Brittany because Brittany is a mom. Brittany is who? Talk to us.
I am in Huntsville, Alabama. I am a single mom. I have a beautiful little 4-year-old boy. I do animal rescue work. I'm active in my church and I do other community events, and I am on the path to narrow that down and discover my purpose.
Nice. Narrow that down and discover purpose. Brittany, let's talk about this morning. There are a lot of people who are watching us, and good morning. If you're watching us for the first time, put a comment in the comment section this morning. Brittany, there are a lot of people who are busy, but they're not in purpose. Have you ever felt like you were there?
Yes, I have been caught in multiple seasons of busyness where I have been doing a lot of different community events or animal rescue events or even things in my church because I was seeking the approval of others. And it took realizing that I didn't find particular joy in all of those, in the busyness, to realize that I needed to settle down a little bit and discover what it is I truly enjoy and what my purpose might be.
The busyness and settling down and realizing, oh my God, I could be about a lot of things, but I may not be about the right thing. Let me say that again. This is examination, people. You can't live life effectively without examining your life. Let me say that again. You can't live life effectively without examining your life. And oftentimes, if you examine your life, you can discover that you're about some things that you ought not be so much about. Now, that doesn't mean you need to cut them off entirely, but you need to maybe pull back a little bit. You may need to pull back a little bit. And that could disrupt your way of living because, Brittany, oftentimes we've been doing what we've been doing for so long, it almost appeared to be that's just us. Well, Brittany, she's really busy. Well, Ricardo, he's really busy. But the truth is, am I functioning in purpose? Am I living in the lane that I'm created to function within? Now, Brittany, you and I connected almost a year ago. And I remember you talking about, hey, Coach, tell me a little bit about your services. And you were inclined to lean into the idea of, I think I might need help. Let's talk about that. The whole concept of help. There are a lot of people who aren't willing to ask for help. Have you ever found yourself at that place where you are willing to give help, but you aren't willing to ask for help? Talk to us.
Yes, I think, especially for me, I got caught up in not wanting to look weak or not wanting to look like I couldn't take care of myself or take care of my son. So I needed to do everything myself, and not only do everything myself, but take care of other people. And I just reached like a rock bottom point where I was like, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not doing any justice to myself by not attending to my needs and what I want for my future.
Paying attention again. That's what I heard. You started paying attention. You started paying attention and realizing I am willing to help others, but I am not so much willing to ask for help for me. And then you started looking at, hold on, I got a lot going on for me, and I'm trying to not look weak, because that's been the kicker. Brittany, a lot of people think asking for help is weak. During our talk yesterday, we talked about the fact that one of my favorite quotes are, someone is assigned to help you. Well, in addition, the Bible says you have not because you ask not. If you're watching us for the very first time and you found it difficult to ask for help, or you're still struggling asking for help, go ahead and let us know. It's okay. I believe, Brittany, there can be no deliverance without you being willing to confront and address and declare what is true. There can be no deliverance until you can confront, declare, and address what is true. In other words, the truth is, Miller, the truth is, Brittany, I am afraid to ask for help. And you said something, Brittany, you said it makes some people think it's weak. Some people think, oh my God. Well, the truth is, everybody's going to need help developing the confidence to ask for help. So let me ask you this, Brittany. Along the way, you decided, you know what? I want to discover who I am at my very core. And that's purpose, right? How do I find who I am at my core? And then you realize, okay, I can't do this by myself. Talk to us a little bit about that, because some people never figure out that they can't do it by themselves. You've gotten to an age, you've gotten to a level in life where you've acquired a lot. You may even be busy doing a lot, but still you're not tapping into that next level. Talk to us about that.
Well, one of the most famous phrases I think anybody would recognize is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's kind of a place that I was in. I was doing the same things over and over, hoping that somebody would notice me or notice my effort, and that would get me an in somewhere. But the truth is, you can have all of these skills and you can have all these abilities and all these connections, and without the right person or the right people in your circle to hone in those skills or hone in the way to utilize those connections, you'll be living out the definition of insanity, doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. And that combined with another well-known Bible verse is, without vision, the people perish. And I had heard that at church, and I was like, I'm having a hard time discovering my own vision. And I took the advice of a good friend, Esther Moreno, and contacted Ricardo.
He said, listen, when you talk about that scripture, thank you so much for contacting Ricardo, right? Because we're on this journey together. Effective living is not a destination, ladies. It's a journey. And so let's talk about that vision. You once again, self-examination. If you're watching us for the very first time, you have to do that. You have to do that. You have to do it, and you have to do it and be honest with yourself. Self-examination. You said, oh my God, I can't define a vision for myself. I can't define where am I going. Somebody says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there, right? Mm-hmm. And so there are people who are like, they're busy and they're going all about doing a lot of things. But here's what I found, Brittany, there is no fulfillment. Vision brings fulfillment. Vision brings fulfillment. It's our ability to see a future that gets us a future. So I teach, if you can't see a future, chances are you won't have one. And here's the deal. Vision is not a good idea. And I know, Brittany, you and I both have had good ideas that we found ourselves busy doing, and it never took us anywhere, because good ideas are a dime a dozen. They pop up all the time. But vision is what Disney World is. Vision is what the Tesla car is. Vision, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vision is what you see that changes an individual's life or changes our entire world. I often say vision is bigger than us, but vision also is the thing that inspires us to buy the book. Vision inspires us to go to the class. Vision inspires us to get up early. Vision inspires us to ask for help. Because once you start to see, watch this, I feel like there is more, and I'm starting to see the possibility of me doing something phenomenal, then you're like, oh my God. But then watch this, I like this, Brittany, when you start to pray, you start to fast, and when you start to literally spend time in your quiet place and you start to become honest with yourself, you say, hey, I see myself with an 850 credit score. I see myself with, 3 years emergency fund. I see myself, with making 7 digits, 7 digits a year. I mean, literally, I see myself, but then you get honest and you say, oh, even though I see that, I must be honest. I'm not good. What will get me there? So in other words, my habits today won't get me to where I'm trying to go tomorrow. How it has been, let's talk about this. How has it been with difficult conversations? How has it been? Because a lot of people, Brittany, won't ask for help because they're not willing to address difficult conversation. It's you asking someone to assist you when they may come off and ask you a little bit more than you want them to ask you, and you feel as though that's a little intrusive, that's a little harsh. And here's a new word I've kept hearing people say. That's outright rude. Now watch this. When you got vision on your mind and you're trying to get somewhere, what I tell people is you got to toughen your skin up. And you got to get past your pride, and you got to humble yourself, and you got to say, I want what I want so bad. I'm not going to be interpreting people's facial position and their tone of their voice. And maybe they may have even said no 2 times, and I'm going to go back again because I'm that determined. How has it been for you and your feelings of getting past this? Oh my God, I'm going to feel bad if I ask. I'm going to feel insecure if I show up. How has it been for you?
Well, I have had to set up some firm boundaries, and, you can ask for help from people, and there are some people that you don't have to share great details about. You can just say, I need help in this area. And if they ask for details, you can tell them I'm not comfortable sharing. Like, that may impact their saying no or saying yes. But I think having firm boundaries in place is essential because, sure, a lot of people can help you, but not everyone is assigned to know everything that's going on in your life.
Yeah. When you say, watch this, not everyone is assigned to know everything that's going on in your life. She is so right, people. Not only is not everyone is assigned to know what's going on in your life, watch this, as someone is assigned to help you, some people aren't assigned to help you. And some people are going to say no. Being okay with their no doesn't stop you from going where you're trying to go. That right there is powerful. You don't have to help me. Someone will. That's the revelation. Somebody needs to write that down this morning. You don't have to help me, but someone will. Whenever God calls you to do something in the earth, he assigns people to assist you. Now, what you have to do is you have to get skill in identifying who's assigned to help me. Boy, that's a prayer, right, Brittany? Praying that prayer that says, God, who's assigned to help me? And then, watch this, learning. Key word here, beautiful people. Key word, learning how to discern who is assigned to help and who is assigned to hurt. Now, just broadly speaking, have you ever seen people who have gotten people in their life who they thought was helping but was hurting, and they never learned the whole process of identifying the difference? Because some people, Brittany, never discovered the difference until they're so bruised, hurt, and disgusted by how they were taken advantage of. what they do is that what I call throw the baby out with the bathwater. In other words, they say, I don't deal with people, Brittany. I don't do anything for anybody. I don't want anybody to ask me for anything because of how I've been dealt. But here's the deal. You can't get to purpose without people. Let me say that again. You can't get to purpose without people, but there are some people assigned by the devil. So Brittany, have you seen that before where there's been some people who are just right out? They're bad, they're wrong, they're evil. Talk to us about your experience.
I have.
What you've seen.
I have. I've experienced this a lot in, other churches or church atmospheres. There are leadership they want someone to keep helping them. And those people, like I was in a similar position, because they're giving you a little bit of attention, you think that you're being seen. So you follow the breadcrumbs and you keep doing what they want or doing what they ask you. And they're giving you all of these false promises. And then in the end, what they promise you, they give to someone else. So you have to be careful about following the breadcrumbs.
Listen, you can write a book on following the breadcrumbs, man. Brittany, that might need to be the name of your book. Hey. Following the breadcrumbs. Because the breadcrumbs can get you in a trap that can lock you in a place that you didn't belong. So that whole discernment element, you got to realize that's crumbs. And watch this, I don't need to follow the crumbs because my God doesn't want me to be addicted to crumbs, because crumbs is just enough to keep you going, but it isn't your promise.
Yep.
Ooh, right? It isn't your promise. Talk to us this morning. And I want you to look in the camera, and I really want you to speak to somebody on this beautiful Friday morning where there are people getting up and they're watching us, and there are others who are watching us later. This whole concept of it's okay to ask for help. On your road to destiny, you're going to have to ask for help. Talk to us about that. What's your view in that? And really challenge our viewers this morning to not be afraid to ask for help.
So I think back to like what we said a few minutes ago. Sometimes we ask for help and people will tell us no, but on the other side of that no is somebody who will say yes and can actually get us to our destiny. Your destiny is on the other side of your pride. So you refusing to ask for help is just chains holding you back from reaching the goals and the dreams and the desires that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
Your destiny, this is what stood out for me. Boy, right there, you said this. Your destiny is on the other side of your pride. Woo. So you got to kill pride.
Yep.
You have to kill pride. That's a word for somebody this morning. You've got to kill pride. You got to get out of your own way and really discipline yourself. Now, let's close this out this morning, Brittany, and let's talk about discipline and getting out of your own way. You have some experiences. I have some experiences. We can get in our way sometimes.
Yeah.
We can get in our way sometimes. Oftentimes, here's the deal. I heard Apostle Paul says, he says, "O wretched man that I am, who's going to deliver me from me?" Because the truth is, here's the thing, beautiful people, that the greatest enemy that I have is in me. My greatest fight is with me. Have you found yourself having, and I want you to close us out with some of your experiences on having to internally fight yourself. In other words, for me, I have to fight procrastination. My wife has been telling me, she said, "Babe, you're good at what you do, but you wait for the last minute to do it." And here's the deal. That can hold me back from my promise.
Yeah.
So that's not a people's issue. That's my issue. Talk to us about the internal fight that you may find yourself. One or two things, because we're keeping it real. The truth is, effective living demands that you be honest with yourself and you be honest with those around you. Go ahead.
So one of the biggest things that I struggled with was public speaking. So like when Ricardo first said, "I want you to do this," I said, "I'm not doing that." And it really took, lots of pep talks, lots of telling myself the worst thing that is going to happen is I look silly, and I look silly every day in a toddler classroom. So what could be worse? But you really have to think about what could be worse than what you're presented with. You know, you never get seen, you never get heard, you never write the book. What could be worse than actually taking the steps to fulfilling your dream and just going for it? If you take the feeling, take the emotion, take the thoughts out of this, because you could talk yourself out of anything.
Yeah.
If you take all of that out of it and just do it, even if it takes going through the motions just to get it done, you just have to go for it.
You just have to go for it. We're going to close with that, Brittany. I like what you said. You can talk yourself out of anything. Here's what I also know. You can talk yourself into anything. Yep. And I want to challenge you to talk yourself into living life effectively. I want to challenge you to talk yourself into asking for help. You know, maybe you're running a small business and the business is not doing as well as you want it to do. Please note, write this down. Someone is doing extremely well where you're struggling. They have mastery where you're having difficulty. That right there deserves a donation. I really blessed somebody just now with that. Right? Listen, someone is doing extremely well where you're struggling. In addition, Brittany, here's the profound part of this. Someone is doing extremely well where you're struggling and you have access to them. So, Brittany, you know that person who don't have no money shortage. All of us know somebody who ain't short on money. All of us know somebody who ain't short on friends. All of us know somebody who ain't short on resources. Now, here's the challenge. It's learning how to capitalize on the access of being one who knows someone like that and being able to learn from them, to draw from them and getting help from them. Here's what I found, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close this talk out. We oftentimes goes for the immediate, but not for the real thing that will take us to our promise. Some people say, well, I just need gas in my car. No. You need to get the understanding how to never need gas anymore. You catch what I'm saying? You need how not to have that kind of emergency, right? So right. Well, I just need my light bill paid. No, what you really need is how to have an emergency fund and how to have multiple streams of income and how not to have a need. So how do I now learn from someone who's never asking for money? When you see someone who have money, don't ask for the money, ask for the wisdom that got them to have money that allow you to no longer need money, just like how they don't need to be asking. You could get their wisdom. But most of us go, Brittany, to the very basic need rather than trying to extract the value that the person has who we have access to. And that's why most people aren't getting help from the person who's capable of helping us, who we have access to. In addition, some of us are prideful.
Yes.
Some of us are prideful. Brittany, you know somebody who is financially secure, but rather than text them and says, hey, how are you doing? This is Brittany. I was wondering, can you give me 3 things I can do in your view to better manage money? And when they send you the 3 things via text, you just say, thank you so much. I'm going to work on these for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
After the next 3 months, you start incorporating those 3 things. You say, hey, I'm doing so much better. Thank you for those 3 things. Can you give me 2 more things that I can do? What is that? That's called mentorship. That's called coaching. That's called assisting you even from a distance in a small way. But what most people do is, hey, this is Ricardo. Brittany, I was wondering if you can lend me $200 versus, hey, Brittany, I know you're financially secure. I was wondering if you can help me to understand how to become financially secure. And when you send me back the text says, well, Ricardo, number 1, you just need to go get another job because your current income isn't enough. Number 2, Ricardo, you can't afford buying fast food per week because you already overextended with your budget. Number three, Ricardo, you need to stop trying to please the Joneses and trying to buy everything else everybody else is buying, because you can't afford that either. If you were to remove yourself from your previous practices, Ricardo, and the next 3 months incorporate what I just said, you will be in a better place financially. So when I say someone is assigned to help us, not only is someone assigned to help us, we have access to them, and we just have to be willing to ask for help. So this morning, I wanted to take some time and say, be willing to ask for help. Brittany joined me over the past couple of days talking about her journey. I'm going to have her come back next week, and we're going to talk about her passion. We want to talk about a couple of things that she's all about that I believe we can learn from, because we're in this together. If you enjoyed this morning's talk, go ahead and put that in the comment section. We are in this together. Effective living is a journey, but this is what I learned from my good friend, Billy K. Johnson. She says, the journey is better with friends. It's good to know that you don't have to do this alone. So, Brittany, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Got you up early this morning. You are helping people by just simply sharing your story, sharing your journey, being open with what's going on with you on your journey to living life effectively. Before we go, remind people once again, it's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help. Jump all in.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Brittany Clark. She'll be back again. You guys have a great day. Remind yourself you are responsible for your destiny. You've got to do the work. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because someone is assigned to help you. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.